Oh, I just signed up for DCA. Congratulations. If these people can do it, I can too. Hey, Scott, that's great, man. Like, that's an important thing, because the number one thing for me that gets in the way is like imposter syndrome, and like, who wants to hear anything about me or from me? Like, that was one of the biggest things for me designing a course. Like, really, who's going to buy from me? Who cares about what I have to say? 2015, it took me over a year to design my first digital course. 1 year, 12 months. And I'm telling you right now, a couple of years ago, one of the biggest things that we ever did in our community is I promised my community that I could shoot a smaller version of a digital course in an hour. And I didn't live up to it. It took me 90 minutes. I'm talking about not only the content, but the workbook that was created and putting it in a simple technology platform. I did it in 90 minutes. And some of our $20,000 customers were like, oh my gosh, I can do this too. And I didn't just do it, we sold it too. And they watched me do it live. Because here's the thing that gets in the way. I can't do this. Nobody wants what I have to offer. Like, how am I ever going to do this? Like, it's just like that gets in the way. So Scott, I love what you said. I love what you said. And here's what I've learned. Here's what I've learned. And I'm going to bring Amy on here right after this question. I've learned that there's a lot of people who are consumers of courses. The beautiful thing about DCAs, it's more than a course. Like, the support and the coaching that you get for the next 7 to 8 weeks is incredible, first class. My good friend Jenna Kutcher called me this morning. I was working out at 7 a.m. and I get a call. I'm like, I probably should take this. And she said, Pete, I posted something in my Facebook group about, or somebody posted something about, hey, has anybody ever done DCA in Jenna's Facebook group, which by the way is a lot bigger than mine. And she said the thread of people was just out of this world, of how many's like, oh my gosh, change my life, change my life, change my life. And so here's what I want to ask you. And I think this is an important question. And I'm going to tell you some of the biggest mistakes you'll make. And Amy's going to share a few of the biggest mistakes that you'll make, that we made, not that you'll make. We want you to avoid our mistakes so you can have the shortcut. But I want to ask one question. How many of you have ever bought a digital course? Drop the word bought in the chat. I bought one. How many of you have bought one? And if you haven't ever bought one, say never bought. Never bought. Many. Somebody said many. And if you, I want everybody to answer these two questions. Many. Some of you are adding the many, not the never. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So nobody said never. 100%. Now here's the follow-up question to this. How many of you have sold a digital course to customers? I either want you to say sold. No. Let's just leave it at sold. Just leave it at sold. If you've sold one, don't put anything if you've never sold it. If you've sold one, put sold. Man, crickets. And it's not okay with me. It's not okay with me. That's what I told Jenna. I'm like, Jenna, one of the coolest things about my business is I just launched this passion project of mine. This passion project of mine I launched a year ago for Christian entrepreneurs. It's called the Wellspring. And I've never been able to do it, but it's like really helping them master all areas of their life. And it's unbelievable to see what's happened over the course of the last year, to see these 80 to 100 entrepreneurs who on average is doing $15 million a year in business, but want to be completely fulfilled in all areas. I've put that on the back burner. And one of the reasons I didn't have to put it on the back burner anymore is because I just turn on a digital course that I recorded, and like the scalability of that digital course goes for a long time. I mean, it's amazing how much, like I shared with my wife, just the digital courses, and I've learned so much from Amy, just the digital courses that I've created could create over here, could allow me to do the things that I'm passionate for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, my passion projects, my passion relationships, like all of that, just digital courses. So here's what I want to do as I bring up our guest of honor for 15 to 20 minutes today. I want to close the gap where 100% of you have bought a course. And I'm going to say 3% of you have sold the course. Just I saw three. So I just figure 3%. And I know that's not rough, but nobody told me they had never. So here's what I want to encourage you today. I'm telling you tomorrow DCA closes, and if you know me, other people's stuff, I've only promoted 4 or 5 people, other people's programs. And the reason why is because I have to be so confident that it's going to serve you the same way that my stuff serves you. And this is one of those that I can confidently say that. I can confidently say that. And so here's what I want to encourage you. There's 3 things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tease one of them today, and then I'll tease a couple on the back end. For any of you that take advantage of DCA, you've already seen our bonus package. If you go to peteandamy.com, peteandamy.com, Amy has the most amazing bonus package. Unbelievable already. But I just wanted to supplement it. And so I'm going to do a priceless bonus. And I just told my team this an hour ago on a call. I'm going to do a priceless bonus. Here's my priceless bonus. For everybody that signs up through me, through that link, and I am a partner, affiliate, whatever you want to call it, because I believe in her product and her service and what she's done for tens of thousands of students. The number's much higher than that. I am going to soon, in the near future, use minimum technology, so you don't even have to talk well. And I'm going to use my laptop, and I'm going to produce a course in 90 minutes or less. Now, it's not going to be my full-blown signature course. It's going to be a course for my faith-based world that I'm now starting to find passion in. And I'm going to literally outline it, design it, shoot it, create the workshops, and then just give you everything that I did in just a simple checklist of everything we did in those 90 minutes. I'm going to go behind the scenes, and I'm going to shoot a miniature course. Like, this is a mini course. This is not the signature course. Here's why. Because I want to overcome the belief that I can't do this. I want you to overcome the belief. And so I'm not going to use professionals. I'm not going to outsource it. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to use this laptop and that ring light and a few simple pieces of technology that you will be able to see behind the curtain as I do it live for you. Does that sound cool? Like, who's excited about that? Like, who's excited about that? Don't worry. If you're already in, you're getting that. You're getting that. But we just created that an hour ago. I'm releasing it tomorrow before the cart closes. And so, Amy, I just wanted to buy a little time to get the room full. Guys, would y'all give some love to Amy Porterfield? Come on, give some love to her, everybody. Let's go.
Hi, everyone. Hello. Thanks for being here. So many great people. I was just like, to see the chat go quiet when you said how many people have sold. I thought, you are in the perfect place right now. This is exactly where you're meant to be. Let's change that.
Yes, let's do. Amy, pretty cool, right? Like that 90 minutes, I'm going to show them, like, just get them out of their mindset. 90 minutes.
The best bonus. That is the best bonus. That one kind of blew my mind. I'm like, this is so good. You do not want to miss something like this. That is a priceless bonus for sure. And you're the perfect person to do it. So I kind of need to be a part of that. I want to watch it. So make sure I get to watch. Okay.
I'll make sure you get to watch for sure. I'll make sure that you get to watch for sure. So Amy, here's the first question. Like, if you had to, like, man, you are on home stretch, you have given your heart and soul. I have a hard time reading books. Like, I love a guy by the name of Brian Johnson who will break down a book in like 10 minutes for me. And then I'm like, I got the major nuggets because I was the Cliff Notes guy in high school. So if you had to give us the Cliff Notes in 5 minutes of like just the last couple of weeks, and I know that's hard, but like, what would those Cliff Notes be for everybody that might have not been able to catch all of the amazing content that you put out the last couple of weeks?
Okay, so that's a great question. So over about a month and a half, we've been diving into digital courses in my community. And I think the biggest takeaways that I want you all to hear is that, number one, everybody has a digital course in them. Right now, you might be struggling to come up with an idea. I hear it all the time. Amy, I'm good at a few things, but I'm not sure what I would teach. And I don't even know if this idea would make me money. But the thing is, we all have knowledge, know-how, and skill set that we could turn into a digital course. And the Cliff's Notes version is that you only need a 10% edge. You only need to be 10% ahead of those you served to say, come with me and let me show you the way. You don't need more time, education. You don't need to have all this experience under your belt. If you've gotten results for yourself or for somebody else, a customer, a client, friends, family, you can teach how you got those results in a course. One of my most favorite ways to do it is you got results for yourself. Now you're going to teach others. So number one, let's stop overthinking it. That's like the one big takeaway. You already have a digital course in you. When you get into DCA, I will help pull it out of you. You don't need to join DCA with an idea ready to go. That's in module 1. So take all the pressure off yourself. The other thing is something that keeps popping up is, what if no one buys? So this fear of I'm going to do all this work and no one's going to buy. Well, number one, that's just imposter talking. That's your fear trying to keep you safe, not to try something new, not to get uncomfortable and put yourself out there. Every course creator always thinks, what if no one buys? I've been in this 14 years and I always have that little fear. We do it afraid. We move forward anyway because your future is waiting for you. But DCA is the framework so that you don't have to worry about if no one buys. We will troubleshoot. We will walk you through it. We will give you the support. Modules 4, 5, and 6 in DCA are all about marketing. So if you have a small email list, if you have small social, if you don't know how to do webinars or sales pages or anything like that, I will teach you step by step. I have a virtual step-by-step teaching style that will hold your hand through the process. So Digital Course Academy is all about how to market your digital course after I teach you how to create it. It's the whole package. And so another thing that I want to share real quickly is that when you create a digital course, you do not need to create a digital course with tons of modules, tons of lessons that take people forever to get through. You could create what I call a weekend course, where it's a short course. People go through it in a weekend and they get the results they want. You can make so much money with a $97 digital course, a $200 digital course. It is so much easier to sell anyway. So don't think you need to have tons of content to create a course. I teach you the different types of courses you can create, and that will determine how much content you put into it. I've got you. The last thing I want to say is you're no longer alone in the journey. Entrepreneurial journeys can be very lonely. But when you get into Digital Course Academy, not only am I now part of your journey, but so is the community, so that we can help you. We can hold your hand through this. You don't have to figure it out all alone. So I think that's another big thing that we've seen throughout the last month and a half.
Oh, I love that, man. That's the Cliff Notes right there, guys, like Cliff Notes. And I love it because it's one thing to create it. It's one thing to come up with the idea. Check. It's another thing to create it, check. And it's another thing to market it, check. Like it's the whole process. Yes. It's beautiful. And I love it. And I mean, I wished I would have had it back when I was wrestling with that whole year of things. And so, you know, I want to remind you guys, go to peteandamy.com, peteandamy.com. Amy, I want to go back and forth, but I want you to start. When you got started, and you've talked about some of this already, and I'm going to talk about some of it already, I want to know, like, what were some of the mistakes that you made? And I'll talk about some of the mistakes that I made as, you know, beginning to create digital courses.
Yeah. So one of the biggest mistakes I made is I thought I needed to throw everything in the kitchen sink into my course so that it would look legit, that if I'm going to ask people to pay for it, I better give them everything I know. And what I did is I fully overwhelmed my audience. So all of you who are thinking this is going to take forever, I've got to include so much, take a big sigh of relief, because the lesson I learned is less is more in a digital course. The less videos you have, the shorter videos you have, people get through it faster anyway. So you don't need to throw everything you know into that course. Another thing I learned is that paying attention to pricing matters. And this is a whole module inside Digital Course Academy in terms of not only what to charge for your course, but also I teach things like 2-tier pricing. You could have independent study and VIP. I teach different things about payment plans and how to recover payment plans if one failed, so you don't have to worry about it. The payment part of it kind of trips people up sometimes. So everything you need to know is in DCA, but I didn't know how to charge for it. And so one time I charged too much and I was too scared to talk about it. So then no one bought. One time I charged way too little and I'm like, I feel resentful. I didn't charge enough. So we work through the pricing of a course course so you feel really good when you start to sell it. Well, the last thing, I think the biggest mistake I made is that I was terrified to sell online. And so I hardly even talked about it. So that's why I really spend time in Digital Course Academy teaching you how to sell online in a way that feels good to you, and teaching you how to write the emails that get people to get into your webinars and want to buy. I was terrified of all that, so I hardly did any of it, and then my results showed. So a really good marketing plan is so important, and that's why I include that in DCA.
I love that. The first one that I'm going to echo, like I could talk about two of those, like that really hit me. But the first one that I want to echo is that putting all of this stuff in there that you think you've got to put everything, like the whole manual. I'm just going to tell you what, like, I love the short and sweet manuals that can, I just got this new set of headphones that I love. And there's the big manual and the smaller manual. And I just go through the smaller manual and it helps me get the same outcome as the big manual does. The big manual just gives me a lot more details. And so one of the reasons why I want to include the bonus that I want to include is because some of you just need to, some of you might go after watching me do that 90 minutes and do what, or say what, I think it was Nathan or whoever said it earlier. Oh, shoot. If he can do that, I can do that. I have Zoom. I have a computer. I have a better lighting system than Pete, and I look better than Pete. So I just want, and I might not even do it in anything that looks great, because I just want you to see the simplicity of being able to create it. And sometimes you think you have to put all of this stuff in there. The other mistake that I made, and this was a big one, and Amy already alluded to it a minute ago, I thought I needed to have the entire life manual written about stages. Like, man, I know a lot, but I don't know everything. And so I've got to make sure I know everything. So this is what I did. I went and started studying and looking at everybody else's stuff. I rarely tell you this. I went to 4 or 5 events. I went to an event that's a friend of Amy and I's. I don't have it here, but like I went to 4 or 5 events on speaking because I didn't feel like I knew everything I needed to know. And what going to those events revealed to me is I knew a whole lot more than most of those events, the stuff that they were actually presenting.
Right there. That's a big deal, what you just said. You already had it in you.
Yes.
We think we need more time, more education, more research. No more. Just get started. No more.
I come back and I say only one of those 4 or 5 events actually knew more than me, but yet they had hundreds and some of them had thousands of people in this room. And I'm like thinking, this is the thought I had in those rooms. I literally took a tour. Like I don't want to say all the events, but I can name every single event. And I'm like, I'm the best kept secret. That's exactly what went through my head. Yes. And I realized, yeah, maybe I haven't arrived, but man, I'm further than, and Amy says 10%, I might've been 20, 30%. But all I know is I was a chapter ahead or a few chapters ahead. And that's the second biggest thing that was huge for me was that. And then the third was what she said is just like a lot of people do the selling of courses wrong. Like the fact that Amy is going to teach you how to pre-sell it. Yeah. I might see if I could sell one of those courses like after I do it. Let's see how fast I can sell it, because I don't need a bunch of ads. I don't need that. I need a couple of powerful posts on social media. I need a couple of DMs to some friends who will buy in at the pilot pricing, because I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know the stuff around pricing or tier pricing or pilot groups or any of that stuff, or I didn't have to do all of these complicated sales and marketing strategies. I could sell my first course or my first 10 courses just through some direct messages, just through people I already knew. And so I wished I would have known that. It was a mistake I made, because what I did is I got the course shot. I remember being at Disney World, and I'm about a year into it. I was with my 3 kids at the time. I think it was 3. I don't remember. I have so many kiddos now, but it was 2 or 3 kids. And I'm at Disney World, and my director of marketing hits me up and he's like, dude, we've been waiting for a year to get this course done. You better get your module done. And I don't care that you're at Disney World. Like that, I remember the message getting from him. And so I'm shooting modules at Disney World, like not okay. And I get it done. And then here's the next big objection for me. I tried the complicated stuff and it didn't work. And I wished I would have known that it's not as difficult and you don't have to be a sleazebag, because people where you were once at absolutely need that. And they just need to be made aware of it because they're losing sleep over it at night. And so those are some of the mistakes I made, Amy. Some of them overlap what you said. But those are some of the mistakes I made. And I think the big one for me was taking that tour that summer and being like, oh, I'm just in my head. I'm just in.
Yeah. For sure. It's
Yeah.
very easy to be in your head, overcomplicate it, and tell yourself you're not ready. You will never feel ready to create your first digital course. You have to do it scared. You have to do it even though you feel uncomfortable, but you are stronger than that and you can overcome those fears and get it done. A lot of people are on the sidelines. That's a big theme over the last month that I've talked about. You have to get off the sidelines and on the field in the game. I'm not even a big sports person, but you got to get in the game. Let's say you create your first course. Let's say it's like the one that Pete's going to do where like in 90 minutes you get it done. You got your first course. And let's say you sell it and you make 5 figures, but you wanted to make 6 figures. You're on the field now. Now it's a pivot. It's a better webinar. It's better emails. It's growing your email list. You're not on the sidelines anymore. DCA is inviting you to stop sitting on the sidelines, get into the game, and we can make all the pivots we need to make it work. But that's what I really want. There's no wrong turns. You can't go wrong with DCA because we will always figure it out. I just want you on the field and stop sitting on the sidelines.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This is what I want to do, guys. I just wanted you to learn some of the mistakes because if you choose to do it on your own, listen, I'm not saying it's not possible to do it on your own. Like it is. I just know that right now, the thing I value more, I told Amy, I have a hard stop today at 3:40 because my daughter has a game at 4:30. I don't miss games. I'm so proud to say that this is the first month where in back-to-back months where I'm not having a business trip. I have some in October, but like I value time more
Yes.
than I even value money. And I know that
Same.
sounds crazy. I think what I've learned is shortcuts and time shrinking matters more to me because I can't get that back, but I can make more money. And I just really want to encourage you guys. That's the big thing is the shrinking of time. And so before I take a few questions from you, because I'm going to take a few questions from you guys today, because I promised that, I just want to show this to you. And then I'm going to reveal something else that's part of it. And so if you go to, I want you all right now. By the way, who's already in DCA? Drop DCA. And who's on the fence? Drop the word fence and tell me why you're on the fence. Say fence because we'll tackle some of those. Like drop it. Like I want us both to be able to see. But I hope that what we're talking about today will take you off the fence. So I want to know who's in DCA and who's on the fence. But if you go to peteandamy.com, I'm going to go through this really quickly. But the 20,000 people simplify the process and launch their course. And so there's a few things that we're doing that are going to make this. I mean, what Amy does is worth it in itself, everybody. Like it's worth it in itself. And so
But your bonuses are damn good, my friend. They're so good.
So check this bonus out. This is priceless. Like there has been thousands of people who have bought this year. And what this is going to do is it's going to help you build your talk that you could use on any stage. And we have worked with some of the most amazing people, many who are on NDA with us, building their talks that they can use offline and online. So not only are we going to build your talk, we're going to help get you on other people's stages. So they've already built their networks. They've already spent the money on Facebook ads. They've already built their email list. They've already built their social media followings. And you get to go take that talk to their stage. So we're going to build that campaign that allows you to get on other people's digital and physical stages. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go really deep. Amy covers this in the course already, but we're going to go deep on really the marketing plan around filling your own webinars. So if you don't want to be on other people's stages, you can actually fill your own webinars. And so the 10X Stages workshop, we have one in October, November, and December, East Coast, West Coast. When you take advantage of DCA by tomorrow, it's like 5 Eastern, Amy, or 7 Eastern.
4 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern. It will shut down for an entire year, guys. And so this will be a part of that. We have this thing that's tech made easy. You'll actually see me do the tech in front of you in the 90-minute course that I create, but we'll give you the entire checklist of tech made easy. We're going to do a one-on-one course strategy session just to support you one-on-one. My team does this so beautifully. And here's what I'm excited about. These aren't new. Like, we have decided that we're going to allow more than one person to come out to Colorado. One person, we're going to pay for all of their travel expenses. And we're going to record all of this in Colorado, but we're going to let more than one person come. So one, we're covering all their travel, and they're going to spend time in my studio shooting their micro course, the same thing that you see me shoot live. We're going to shoot more than one person's course live in my studio with my team right here in Colorado. And then me and the folks that get to be a part of this, we're going to make it how many we can get done in a day, and it be done well. And my team is going to be the ones doing the stuff for you. And we're going to record all of that for everybody to be able to see. So even if you're not one of the ones that made it, we're going to document the whole process. And then you and I will sit down over a meal, and I'll just really speak life into you and commission you and encourage you. And so it looks like the team did get the behind the scenes of seeing me build a course up that's just brand new as of today. So guys, these are the things that we're going to do. I'm stoked about it, but I'm telling you, the real value comes in DCA. And that's why I just wanted to make these bonuses, these additional bonuses, things that really complement that, Amy. That's what I wanted to do. We wanted to make it a no-brainer. Tomorrow, you're going to learn that Amy and I are also going to host a private training with getting the number one obstacle for course creation removed. Anybody want to guess what the number one obstacle is in creating your course? This is my opinion. Amy might not agree, but let me see. Let's see who guesses it. Let's see who guesses it. Yes, your mindset. It's you.
Yes, I agree.
It's you. It's your mindset. And so we're going to spend, and we're going to do a private training that we get to you guys to help make sure that you get out of the way. You get out of the way. It took me going on 5 trips to 5 different cities to get me out of the way. But Amy and I are going to make sure that we get you out of the way. So Amy, I'm stoked. I think those are some pretty killer.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
Such good bonuses, Pete. And you put a lot of thought into those. And I love that. And Pete, some people are saying, and you're the only one that could really answer this, I think, that the difference between the 10X stages and DCA. And I know there are big differences, but can you talk to that really quickly?
Yeah, so big differences. So 10X stages is going to focus on what we call your signature talk. DCA is focusing on your webinar talk. Your signature talk is one that you can use on other people's stages. You can't, like your webinar talk, you can use on your own stages, which is your own webinars. But I also want you to have a talk that you could take to other people's stages.
Yes.
So a couple of weeks ago, Amy came in and she had a powerful talk on Backstage with PV3. She knew that she couldn't do the same talk that she was doing on her webinar on my stage. Her and I were clear on that ahead of time. But watch this. That was the domino effect of her getting a lot of people from our community. If you heard her on Backstage with PV3, say backstage. If that's where you heard her, guys, for the first time about everything with DCA, drop that in the comments. That's what I call an other person stage. She was on my stage and had that talk. And so the workshop focuses on that talk. And it also focuses on helping you get on other people's stages. Because
love this. Okay, I want to.
Does that make sense, Amy?
Yes, and I want to add something to that. That makes me even happier about DCA and 10X talks together, or 10X stages, because one of the things I teach my students is if you want to speak on more stages, if you want to get up there and you want to people knocking on your door saying, "Come speak for us." When you have a digital course out into the world, you are known for something. It puts you on the map. So now let's say you teach children's nutrition and they're looking for a keynote speaker on children's nutrition. Your course has been out there for a while. You are known for that. You get the call. I get the call all the time. I get paid $30,000 to speak on a keynote for digital courses. It's because I'm known for that. So if you want to speak on more stages, get your course out there because it puts you on the map and it invites more people to invite you on their stages. So they go together very nicely.
Yeah, they're like, it's like peanut butter and
It
jelly,
is.
and Robin, like it's such a compliment. And that's why we did it. And guys, we're doing it through tomorrow. I don't think there's a partner that we've done that with, but we want you to be able to just have everything. And by the way, it's going to be beautiful because you guys will begin to come around the time that you're graduating from DCA. And so like, just like, I don't know if graduation's the right word, Amy. I don't know if that's
No, I love that.
yeah.
Yes.
So, hey, I want to take a couple of questions, just a couple of questions. Who has a question? And I want to see, yeah, I love peanut butter and jelly, but I can't eat too much of those anymore. But Amy, Mark says, is this lifetime access?
Yes, it is. Lifetime access. And you get all my updates. Anytime I update the program, you get all the updates, even if it's 5 years from now. What most people do is they go back to my module 5 over and over again years later because it's all about webinars. And anytime I update it, you get the updates.
Wow, that's amazing. Tour says, Pete, I want to thank you for sponsoring me for Amy's boot camp. There was 10 people that we sponsored.
Oh, cool.
And she said, I appreciate it so much. And I'm in DCA as a result of that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, who has some questions? I want to see a few questions here. Amy, did you see anybody from the fence standpoint that were direct in the fence?
Let's see. I saw one up here. Let us know. This is your chance. Time is running out. So if you're thinking about joining, we're going to answer your question right now. Mark, why are you on the fence? Let us know. He just put fence. I would love to know. Oh, this is a good one. I'm a published author and speak in public. How do I craft or how do I decide what the webinar is going to be? Okay, so when you have a digital course, you're going to create your course first. And then we're going to create your webinar. And with the webinar, we're going to look at what your course is about. And we're either going to take one area of that and blow it up in a webinar to really teach what it's about and then bring people into the big picture course. Or we're going to take your course and let's say it's 5 modules. In the webinar, we're going to give big picture of each of those modules and teach a little to give them a little taste. And at the end, the conversation is, if you want to dive in and do this in a bigger way with me guiding you, get into the program. So I'll teach you how to choose your webinar topic once you have your course. It's easier than you might think, but we've got some strategies for that.
I love that. Rosie Cruz, I just want to make sure and answer your question. She's like, am I not getting the bonuses that are with the boot camp? You 100% get the bonuses that are part of DCA. That's the beauty. But when you have a partner that believes in what Amy does, I'm just adding the cherry on the top. Like the primary thing right here is DCA. That's the primary thing. I'm just adding things that come along and support it. So you get everything that Amy talked about with DCA, plus the stuff that we're talking about as you go through PeteandAmy.com. And I get a report. It's simple. Amy sends me a report and shows me all of you. And then I'm able to give you access to your bonuses. So great question there.
Here's one. How much time is spent in the course in paid online marketing, such as Facebook, custom audiences, and templates for this and automated marketing? So there's tons of templates, swipe file, and examples of how to create your marketing plan. And you will never look at a blank Google Doc again. I will get you started in every area. I will even show you what emails I write, and you can then tweak them and make them your own. So you do not need to start from scratch on any of your marketing. I will give you everything you need. If you pay in full, if you pay the $19.97, I have a special bonus on how to use paid advertising for Facebook and Instagram to fill up your webinars and grow your email list. So if you want paid advertising help, that's a bonus if you pay in full. But most of my success stories on their very first digital course launch did not use paid advertising. So I want you to know you don't have to have a big email list, you don't have to have a big social media following, and you sure as heck don't need to use paid ads to see a really successful first digital course launch.
I love that. Hey, Scott, we're going to bring you up. And if there's anything, Scott, I'm going to have you be efficient with your question. So Scott, I see, guys, if we can unmute Scott, and Amy and I will tackle this. But Scott, you can tell. So you say the reason you're on the fence is you don't know if you have an idea that people stay up at night or are thinking about. So Scott, I'm going to get courageous and say really briefly, that's your question, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's my question. So I did the post-it party with Amy, and I think one, my problem is that I'm always in my way, so the mindset helps. But two, when you gifted me, and thank you very much for that gift to Amy's course. I greatly appreciate that.
For the boot camp.
And so for the boot camp, yes, thank you so much. Not the course, the boot camp. Thank you so much. And my idea is to have self-help for nurses. But the more I think about it, I guess
Whoa.
That's
the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. You said the more I think about it, that's the issue. Like when I say that's the number one thing, right? Let me tell you what I felt. I'm not gonna BS you. If I didn't feel anything with what you said, I would tell you. I would be in integrity, and I would try to figure out how to create. That is the most simple, flippant idea you can think about. I know 2 nurses, and they're so worn out and they're so tired and they're putting in so many hours. Do you think they ever get a chance to be able to go listen to an Amy Porterfield or a Pete Vargas or get professional development? Probably not as much as they want. But if you started to target them with self-help and professional development, like Amy, it's not even a question why that's not an idea.
No. And
I'll let you speak to it.
I tend to I'm not a super woo-woo person, but I always get an intuitive hit if someone gets on camera and I'm like, I would want to learn from them. My friend, you are precious. I would love to, I know that's a weird word to use for a man. I would love to learn from you. You have something special about, oh my gosh, he's going to support me. He's going to take care of me. So Scott, you have a special thing about you right away. The second thing I want to say is that inside Digital Course Academy, I'll help you validate your idea. I'll help to make sure that people are going to pay for it, that there's a need for it, that there's a market for it. That's part of the course. So get in with DCA with your great idea. I agree with Pete. Right when you said it, I was like, yes, yes, yes. But then when we go through module 2 and validate, if you feel like, ooh, Amy, I think I missed the mark a little, we can tweak it. We can change it to make sure that you have the idea that you can run with. So you don't have to worry about if this idea is going to work for sure. Let me help you in the course.
Yeah. And the other thing I would say, Scott, and we're gonna bring up maybe one more, and that's what we're gonna finish with, guys. Scott, the other thing I'm gonna tell you is one of the bonuses that we're including is the one-on-one with one of our advisors, just because our advisors help people map out things. And so you'll be able to just have and it's not a long talk, it's like 15, 30 minutes, but you'll be able to have a conversation after you go through modules 1 and 2 to be able to talk. I'm telling you, all of the support you need over there in DCA is going to be there. And I just am providing the things I'm providing because I want to make sure that you win. Because if you win and you get your courses done, let me tell you my evil plan. I want to make sure you get on other people's stages.
Yes.
I in one
back to Denver.
Yeah, I in one stage in 2019 sold 1,000 digital courses in 50 minutes. And the person who put that stage on, he paid $20 million to rent out the Miami Marlins stadium. And I got to show up, deliver my talk. Why? Because he knew I had a talk and a course that could solve a problem for his audience. And so that's my thing. If I get your course done, you got to get on other people's stages now. So I'm the stages guy. This is the courses queen. I know that's probably like precious. That's not the right word to say. But Scott, we sponsored you into the boot camp. Are you stepping into DCA? 2 thumbs up? Am I seeing 2 thumbs up?
I would love to support you, Scott. Welcome to DCA. And that smile, I can't get enough. So we're doing this. Let's go.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to answer your question right here. And that's the last question that we're going to take today. So just be direct with your question, sir. Glad to have you today.
Okay. I signed up for the boot camp, but I just got back from my company's convention. I haven't had a chance to go through it. So it's a health and wellness. We have incredible products. They chose to distribute it through network marketing. So I can do the client as far as giving you help live longer and stuff like that. We can also build a team to be under a network. So how will this work on the DCA part of it and everything? And I'm going to go through the boot camp starting this weekend and stuff when I get a chance to get onto it and stuff. So how does the DCA going to be able to help on the networking part as far as on the stage, what you're talking about and doing that? Because I'm not sure how that's going to work on my situation.
Amy, do you get questions from network marketers around courses often or no?
Yes, so definitely.
Thank you, Mark, for your question.
Yeah, a lot of network marketers want to create a course. And what I always say is I love the idea, because if you're creating a course around so you're in health and wellness, is that what I heard?
Yep, that's right.
Yes. Okay. And you sell a physical product, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to get people to want to take that product, to get them to a place that they're all bought in, like, I need this daily, this is going to be a part of my life, you have to go a little bit broad with your course and talk about either whatever health and wellness area you're in or the mindset part of it. Like one of my students who did really well, she teaches people how to put habits and get organized in their life. Her product is about focus. It's a physical product, about a supplement about focus. So hers is about organization and habits. And then once she gets them to say, okay, I want to do this, she then tells them, I have a product that's going to help you with what you just learned. So she pairs the two, and she talks about her product throughout her digital course so that people see the two are tied. I talk about physical products in my digital course. So there's software, there's resources and tools. They're all affiliate links throughout Digital Course Academy. I think that's a great way to marry the two. So you got that, my friend.
Yeah, Mark, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight just because my first thing that I did out of college was network marketing. So this is what I'm going to say to you. There's a few opportunities you have. There's an opportunity that you have to be able to create a course around the power of launching your own home-based business. And really you define, Pat Quinn says, you define the criteria of what makes a great home-based business. Guess what that criteria is? Your business. And so you've got that opportunity. You've also got the opportunity to create a course specifically for all of your distributors. Give them a micro course where they get onboarded with you in 45 minutes. And now they're sold out to Mark and they will go to war with Mark. Now you might say, Pete, I don't charge him for that. That's okay, because you're going to make money because of how you onboarded them. And then the third thing, this is the last idea. And guys, these are the types of things that why we include the one-on-one with our team, just so we can give you a few fresh ideas. But the third thing is you've also through this process learned what it is to have and be healthy. So why not go create your own product around what you've learned in being in business to take control of your health and create your own digital course that you can sell to the market around your health journey. So just 3 ideas that might resonate with you. My big encouragement to you today is I'm going to encourage you in something. Don't worry about going and watching the replays, because the shortcut is these next several weeks. Get committed to DCA, do whatever you can to get into DCA. And I'm telling you, you'll be glad I said it. And it's risk-free, guys. Like, that's what I love about it. And Amy can make it risk-free because of the fact that she's gotten results for a really, really long time. So Amy, final thoughts from you today. Thank you for coming and doing this with me today. I'm so glad that you did, but final thoughts. And guys, we can remove Mark now.
So very glad that we got this time together. I'm going to say what I started out by saying. You all have a digital course in you. And if you are afraid to get started, if you have all the doubts in the world, welcome to entrepreneurship, because that is just how the game goes. Pete and I have all those same fears. We might not look like it today, but let me promise you we do. I want you, and I know this sounds kind of odd, but I want you to do it scared. I want you to move forward even though you're not sure you have all the answers. Let me guide you through this process. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to support you, and I will go through the journey with you. This isn't a digital course where you buy it and I say peace out. I'm with you for 9 weeks so we can get that course created and get it out into the world. You get lifetime access. You have it forever. You get all my updates. There is no risk to get inside DCA. But tomorrow I will close the doors and I only offer it once a year. So I really hope today you make a decision.
Guys, I'm super grateful. I'm so grateful. I told my team today on a call, we had our call today, and I'm just like, I'm so glad that we got the chance to do this with Amy. Because this is an element that I believe all of you need. Like, all of you need. Like, when Amy says she started with everybody's got a digital course in them, I really believe that. One of the biggest things I saw a post on an Instagram ad that we were running with Amy, and I just wanted to respond to the lady, because the lady, this is, I don't know, it might have been a man, I don't know, that's irrelevant, but this is what I'm going to say. It said, no entrepreneur should be teaching people how to build a course. That's the role of an educator. And the first thing I thought was, my issue is that when I was in college, an entrepreneur taught me what it meant to be an entrepreneur. And when I went to my college professor I realized that I was making more than my college professor. And I actually asked my college professor a question. I said, all of these things that I teach, that you're teaching me, have you done that in the real world? So, well, not technically. I've never been an entrepreneur. I've never owned a business. And from that moment on, I said, I'm going to learn from people who actually have a life experience to help me get from here to here. If they've never been in the dirt and experienced the hardships and the pains and figuring out how to make somebody's health or wealth or relationships better, I'm not going to go learn from an educator. I'm going to learn from someone who actually did the work to figure it out. Guess who that person is? That's every one of you.
Yeah.
So no, I don't want to learn from an educator. I want to learn from somebody who's been from the real hard knocks life.
In the trenches.
In the trenches.
Yeah.
And listen, I know Amy, I can put her on the spot. I didn't tell her this, but Amy is committed to closing the 3% and 100% gap. What if you're with us late? 100% of people said, I've bought a course before, and 3% said I've sold it. How about we flip the script on that? And so I really want to encourage you guys, go to peteandamy.com. You're going to see everything that we're including till tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, plus just the primary program, which is DCA and everything Amy's included. So guys, I love you guys. Amy, thank you for doing this with us today.
Thank you, Pete. Love you guys so much. Take care, everyone.
See you guys.
Bye.